Hello, my name is Raimo Matvere. I'm head of partnerships at the e-Residency program, and today we are going to talk about how to raise money, what are the options in Estonia, who to talk to find investments. And we have a guest here who can explain it in detail, Lauri Antalainen. Hello. You have a long experience in the investing world. Could you give us a small background? What have you done? What is your background, and how did you end up in investing sector?
Hello, I'm Lauri Antalainen. I'm Vice President and Board Member of EstBAN, Estonian Business Angel Network. My experience with startups goes back more than 10 years now. In 2012, me and three of my partners, we co-founded Game Founders Accelerator, and so we started doing angel investments there. And so by now I have done angel investments for more than 10 years.
What are the main funding options and programs in Estonia where to turn to if you have a startup that is seeking for additional financial resources?
There are several sources of financing for startups. So obviously I'm most familiar with business angels because I've been in EstBAN for more than 4 years now, and I can tell you a lot about angel investments. There's also, in addition to angels, there's also other investors such as venture capitalists. Then there's also accelerator and incubator programs that sometimes also invest or sometimes also just give out money. There are different kind of funds that support special projects in certain fields, such as Prototron gives for hardware-based startups, they provide money. Then there's also different clean tech funds, and so there are many options. So actually, to get a better idea of the local ecosystem that supports startups, very good place to look at is the Startup Estonia webpage. So there's actually a very good list of the local players.
Mm-hmm. But if we think of like especially pre-seed or seed stage startups, then where they should start?
Well, yeah, pre-seed and seed, that's also quite a wide range of startups. Obviously, in the very, very early stages, they should start with the incubators, accelerators. These provide not only the money, they also provide you with very good knowledge, good contacts, good mentorships. So I would say that you start there, and once you're ready to raise money from professional investors or business angels, then obviously that's the way to go as well.
You already mentioned EstBAN, where you are board members. What is exactly EstBAN and how does this work?
So EstBAN is basically an organization that facilitates the cooperation and an investment scheme between the business angels and startups. Mm-hmm. So in EstBAN by now we have around 300 members, and if you consider that on average when a startup raises their pre-seed or seed fund, they usually would have like 10 to 20 angels invest. Then when we have 300 angels in EstBAN, it's not that difficult to find those 10 or 20 angels that invest in you if you have a good idea and good team and execution. So we facilitate cooperation and then the network, the contacts and so on. We also educate both parties. So we help starting business angels to understand how this business works, what they should be doing, how they should be evaluating the startups. And we also help startups to understand what does it take to get financed by business angels.
Mm-hmm. How to approach you?
Us as EstBAN. So actually we have a few ways. Through the webpage you can find the links to Dealum, where you can put your startup idea and your business description and everything. And then we have in EstBAN we have a communications manager and then the deal flow manager who will take a look at your idea. If necessary, they contact you, they ask additional information, and if you go through the list, then you get a chance to pitch to in our monthly event that we have. Also, there are other ways. So in at least twice a year, we run these competitions where all the startups can apply, and then the winner gets investment, or a couple of winners gets investment. These competitions are usually connected with two local events here, Startup Day and Latitude. So the Startup Day is actually, we just selected top 8, and next week when Startup Day takes place, we will choose the winner.
When we are thinking about a startup that would like to approach you, not during the big pitching competitions, but in between, like how do you make the choices then? Or like if that's a public competition, there's a jury and they decide based on certain criteria, but you said you have a monthly events and also some one-off occasions. So how does the decision process looks like, or what to expect as a startup founder when I get the chance to pitch you, for example?
Yeah, so in the monthly event, we have usually like 5 to 8 startups that will have a chance to pitch there, either online or in location. So both ways are possible. This 5 to 8 selection has been done by the deal flow manager that we have, and also the small committee of EstBAN angels that make the final decision of who gets to pitch. And then obviously we have every month, I would guess, between 50 to 100 startups apply for this pitching event. So around, I would say 10% of them get actual chance to pitch.
Out of curiosity, have you done any statistics how big percentage of them are startups with foreign founders or coming outside of Estonia?
We have quite a few. So EstBAN is also an international organization. Around 1/4, even a bit more of our members are outside from Estonia.
Okay.
And also the startups, I mean, we have had startups pitching in very different countries in the world. Throughout, I would say, pretty much every continent except Antarctica. So, so yeah, that's really not an issue if the founders and the company is not located in Estonia.
Okay, but let's go to more practicalities. You have a long experience. Can you give any tips and tricks what you should do or definitely shouldn't do when preparing for raising funds and starting pitching as a young startup founder or the starting startup founder? Like based on your experience, what are the main do's and don'ts to keep in mind?
Yeah, so first of all, you should be prepared. So this means that you should have your pitch deck ready. You should already have thought through what is the amount that you raise, on what valuation, what are your future plans, what are you going to achieve with this money, and so on. So don't come unprepared. That would be the first thing. Second thing, like I previously said, usually angels invest in bunches. So you would have like 10 to 20 angels on typical case to invest. More and more, we see that there should be a lead angel. So there should be some angel that others recognize that he or she knows what they're doing, and who is your kind of does the due diligence for your company and helps you with contacts, with the network, with finding the other investors. But if you don't have it, there are also cases where you can go through without leading angel, but you shouldn't never come unprepared.
For foreign founders, maybe they have experience in different countries, different regions in developing the business, also pitching for investors. Like, is there something Estonia specific they should be aware of when it comes to raising the funds, working with investors, business angels?
That's a good question. I would say that in general, I would guess that average business angel in Estonia is a little bit more knowledgeable than the average business angel in some country where the business angel network is not as well developed as here in Estonia. So you can expect that the angels understand when you use the abbreviations, you say LTV, you say cap table, they will understand what it means. Perhaps in some other countries you would have to explain what these terms mean.
Okay, good to know. Can you give us any, for example, a good example of pre-seed or seed stage startup that has raised the money, maybe recently, that's experience that you remember well? Like, could you give a few things from this experience? Why did you decided to invest in them, or what caught your attention positively?
Yeah, so for myself, the most important element in a startup is the team. So what I ask myself when I make the investment is that whether I trust that this team would actually go through all the obstacles that will come on this route, on this journey. And if this answer is yes, and all the other stuff is also good, in my view, I will make the investment. So I've had quite a few investments where I wasn't necessarily too excited about the business idea, but I was excited about the team. I made the investment, and these have turned out to be pretty good investments. So I would say that one of the things that the team definitely needs to do is to be persistent and to follow up. So be systematic. You cannot really expect that you will have this one meeting or you send one email and you will get immediate response. This is not going to happen. So by being persistent, making follow-ups, sending reports, showing that you actually develop your business is something that the angels can really kind of see, make them to see your company in a positive light. Because if you are very systematic with the way you interact with angels, then you're very likely to be as systematic in your business. So it's easier to invest in your company.
Okay. But do you have also some other type of example where like team was there, business idea was strong, even numbers showed some good trends, but somehow they haven't been able to raise money very well? What could be the reasons for that, or what are the unexpected things to consider? So
in these cases, if everything kind of seems to be all right, but the team is not able to raise money, number one reason why this happens is the ruined cap table. So this means that the company has given out too much equity to the parties that are not actively involved in the everyday development of the company. Usual case would be that the company is actually a spin-off of some other IT company or some whatever else company, and this mother company holds a significant share in this company, which basically makes this startup uninvestable by outside parties. There might be some small things, maybe some IP issues, maybe the intellectual property is not very well thought. Maybe there are some costs in the past of the founders that investors don't necessarily like. There might be some other things as well, but the most common thing I see why a decent startup does not get invested is the cap table.
To kind of wrap it up, if you could only give one advice for a startup founder that is seeking for seed or pre-seed investment, maybe in Estonia, then what would be the most important advice you'd give?
Most important thing is don't half-ass it, like doing your business. Just do your business, do it well. If you're going to do it well. Don't like give your half-hearted attempts, just do it. And if you do your business well, you will get financed. It's as simple as that.
So let's say that there's a startup that was able to raise a pre-seed or seed round, maybe even in Estonia with business angels or with others. And if you think of Estonian ecosystem, then would business angels or the accelerators they have gone through, or some other context, like how much it helps in preparing for the next rounds, or getting the next investments already from the VCs, for example? Like, how does this previous experience in this region or in Estonian ecosystem helps to raise the next round? Is there any correlation you can recognize?
It definitely does. I mean, Estonia is a small country. The ecosystem players know each other, and they know who would be your most likely next investors. So if you have already raised some money with the local players, they can help you to make contacts to the next financiers in Estonia, but also outside of Estonia. So it definitely helps.
Thank you for listening. I hope you got some good tips and tricks, what to consider, what to keep in mind when starting working with Estonian investors, accelerators, incubators, and thinking of raising money here. If you want to hear more about the funding options in Estonia for your startup, or to get to know some acceleration and incubation programs, please sign up to our Q&A session that takes place on March 22nd, exactly on these topics. You can find more information from e-Residency website.